So we have a track day coming up and I have to do some maintenance on the Supra. So today we're going to be swapping out the brake pads, the brake fluid, spark plugs, and don't hate me in the comments too much, but I'm being a little bit lazy and we're taking it to a shop that I know for the oil change, but they do the whole multi-point inspection. Just want to play it safe, see if they see anything that I don't catch before I take the car out for a track day. So what are we swapping in today? So I have the Hawk Performance brake pads. These are a street pad. Now, I'm not going to the track every single month, maybe 2 to 3 max within the year. So from what I've researched on these are pretty good if you're just casually going to the track. I have Motul 660 brake fluid. From what I've seen, these are pretty amazing for if you're trying to have high temperature resistance. And then I didn't have one of these power bleeders, and it also has the European 45mm adapter. And one other thing is we've made some updates to the Supra since the last time. You guys have probably seen it. I know I wanted to do the track day with the car completely stock, but I fell in the Facebook marketplace peer pressure and I bought these Apex SM10s. So one of the big factors why I got this is because the rear is an 11-inch wide rim and you're able to fit some 305s pretty nicely. So I got the Continental Extreme Contact 02s. So on the rear, it's a 305, 35, 19. And in the fronts, I went from stock size of 55 to 265, 35, 19. So we have a little bit more meat. So I'm interested to see if it'll help at all. I'm assuming it will, of course. The only other thing I kind of wish I could have before the track day would be some springs to lower it just a tad bit. But I mean, we're just doing it for fun, so we're gonna see how it goes. But now let's get to work, start swapping all this stuff in. I forgot to mention, since we know exactly what we're doing, we're gonna go one by one here. So whenever you replace the brake fluid, you have to start with the wheel that's furthest from the reservoir. So in this case, the reservoir is right under this cover here. So you go to the back passenger wheel, the rear driver wheel, and then you come up to this passenger wheel and then the driver wheel. But since we're putting in the brake pads as well, what we're theorizing is we can do the pads first, and then you hook up the power bleeder, push the fluid out, and swap the fluid so we don't have to jack it up 8 different times because we only have one jack. You know, kind of broke after buying the Supra. So yeah, sounds good?
Sounds good. Let's get to work.
Well, let's get to work? Oh, okay. Just popped the wheel off, so we got to get this caliper. There's 2 bolts in the back here, so we just got to break them loose. We can pull this out, swap the pads, and then we'll have to, there's a special tool, but we'll get there. Dang, I just got like a mechanic over here. Like, no, but on a serious note, so on this back right side, you have your sensor for the pad, and right now we're trying to see if we can pull out the sensor. Nice. So he got the sensor out, so that means we can reuse it. I don't have to use the new one that I bought. And then we just pull it out and swap the pads. All right, so we got the old pads in the rear compared to the thick boys. Quite a bit of a difference. Let's put it in. So once you have the pads in, you're gonna have to push this piston back. So BMW makes a tool that goes into these 2 notches and you actually rotate it and it'll push back. But we don't have that tool, so you can also use a needle nose and just push it back and then you slide the caliper in. So we're gonna do that. All right, so you wanna situate your pliers in those 2 notches and you wanna turn clockwise to push it back. Now my piston was pushed in pretty far, so I'm gonna be here for a moment. And make sure not to hit this rubber piece or scratch it or open it. So just keep an eye out for that. Make sure to be careful when you're putting the pads in. I just realized I put 2 of the same pad that's supposed to have the sensor. So just make sure that the one that has the opening for the sensor right here is gonna come in the back side, and then you close everything up. And I just finished pushing this all the way back, so now it's sitting flush. So let's close it up. All right, it might be a little hard to see, but I just jammed the sensor back in after putting the caliper. So now we're going to start bleeding the brake system down, just in the rear. We're going to put these two 14mm bolts back in on the top and the backside down here. And I believe, I'm gonna double check, but this is your nipple for the brake fluid. We're gonna pop that off, and then there's a little nut where you can loosen it, but we're gonna attach it so that way it doesn't just explode out everywhere. So I'll put a link to everything that I bought, but this is the Motul Products Power Bleeder. We're going to pressurize it up to 25 PSI and put about 1 liter of brake fluid in here, and it should naturally push out all the old brake fluid and refill it. So it's pretty nice, and this is literally just following the steps off of the Kies YouTube video, which I'll link also. This is the exact same thing that they use. So we're gonna put 2 of these 500ml containers and dump it in. All right. We might have made a oopsies and we didn't tighten these threads the best, and even to the reservoir, so we had a huge amount that spilled at the bottom.
A few moments later.
Everything's pressurized, 25 PSI. So we didn't have a silicone tube that would fit. So what we did is I kind of makeshifted putting this zip tie and just securing it to the opening. There's a little nut back here, you loosen it and all your fluid will go out, and we just put it to this bottle here. So it's a little rig, but now we could use it, I mean, even for another brake flush in the future. This nut is a 11mm, FYI. All right, let's break this loose. There we go. So the brake fluid is coming out, coming into the catch can very, very slowly. We wait until there's a color change, and we kind of made a little bit of a mess, but it's okay. Don't look at that. All right, everything's done. Just closed up that nut, retightened it, sprayed some brake cleaner on here. That brake fluid is corrosive to the paint, so you just want to clean it up a little bit. I'm gonna put the wheel back on, do the exact same thing on the opposite side, and then go on to that wheel after we finish the driver rear. And yeah, I'll see you there.
One eternity later.
I have made a grave and utter mistake. Just know it's fixed now. It's a lot later in the day, but we're on the front brakes, so we're gonna finish it up. And I'm contemplating if I should explain what happened. So as of right now, no, but maybe later we'll see how much longer this takes. We're getting out the pins that hold the front brake pads. You just need something to fit in this opening, and it'll push the pin out, pop it out, and then you get your pads out. Very simple, cool design. Alrighty, the front pads are out. This guy is an absolute unit. So you can buy a brake pad separator tool, which will push both of these pads away from one another. But like I said, this guy is a unit. He just took a flathead and separated them. So once that happens, this little hanger piece you can take it out of, and then just remove the brake pad sensor. They pop out, and then all I did is I went in here, and you can see the piston right here, and I just pried them back so I could fit the new pads. And apparently, this little residue, your stock pads have tape on them, so they glue the back of these to your pistons, which is absolutely a pain to get them out. So you gotta break that free, pop them out, so we're gonna put new pads in. What was that?
This is definitely heavier with less pad.
Because of these pieces?
These bullshit pieces they have here.
So I guess we're not gonna. I mean, these don't even come out, but
Doesn't say if I put them back on.
yeah. I mean, you don't really need them on to. All right, we ain't putting that on. We're just rocking it, bare pad. But the pin should hold it, if anything. So
Yeah. The pin's still gonna put the little plate on there to hold it in place.
yeah. So the pads are in, the hanger's on, pins are through. Now we're gonna straighten the wheel, check the fluid, right? Check the brake fluid. Do the exact same thing on the other side. And I don't know if we're gonna get the spark plugs today because of what happened. So yeah, that'll be on the next day. We're almost done. Have this guy putting on the pads on the last wheel. I know we said that we were supposed to go back to back, front. But dude, what happened earlier today? We're kind of rushing down. We're just trying to get this done. But what is it that happened? So while I was messing with the brake caliper, taking it off, I was twisting back the piston, and somebody was up here, and he was pressurizing the fluid. So what ended up happening is the piston extended all the way out, and it actually started leaking out of the silicone piece. So that was quite the headache. And I know I said earlier that you could use a needle nose to push the piston back, but I had to make a quick run to Advanced Auto. We got the actual tool for it. It was a pain, and it took a lot of time to get that back in place, and I thought the seal broke or popped. I don't believe it's popped because everything's closed up right now and it's not leaking out of the piston. We're gonna finish up on the last wheel. I know we're out of order, but we're kind of dying right now. And yeah, so we're not gonna be able to get the spark plugs, but we'll do that on the next day. And I think that's pretty much the last thing. So let's finish this up and call it a day. If you're curious about what that tool is that I'm talking about, it's this guy. So these two notches will line up. These are actually adjustable, so as you tighten, they'll squeeze on those notches. What I theorized happened is when the piston overextended, I think as we were forcing it back in, it wasn't sitting completely straight. I think that's what was happening. I could be wrong. I don't know if anyone's ever encountered that. Let me know in the comments. But this tool was able to just force it right back in. So we'll see. There shouldn't be any issues, but I guess we'll find out. But we are finished. Wasn't that fun?
Learn something new every day.
We're gonna be BMW experts by the end of this year. I'm gonna go drive it, just double check everything, break the pads in, and probably we'll see you tomorrow.